Now that we have covered the title section of the content loading dock, we are going to move on to the content editing fields. You will load content, links, images, and text you feel are important to expressing the purpose of your site. We will start with primary content. As the content loading dock explains at the top of the page, you will need to lock this before you can edit it. Now that it's locked, you can double-click on the section or click on the Show Editor tab in the upper left corner of the section of the content loading dock. A new window will pop up. What you see here is a rich text editor with a big white field of space where you can enter text, images, and/or links. As you can see, many of these icons look much like what you normally use in Microsoft Word: bold, italics, etc. Above these icons are another row of icons that can help you properly load in links, written content, and media. These are similar in many ways to other content management systems like Drupal, WordPress, and so on. If you are unfamiliar with how any of these icons work or what their purpose is, there's a more detailed video that will explain all of this later. Keep in mind, if you don't already have the experience of building content properly, wait to start loading content till you watch all the videos. Anything you load into the primary content field will be at the top of your page. It's the head honcho of content. If you don't put anything in here, Sitecore will move the lower content fields up in the rankings. This will become clearer as we work our way through the remaining content fields. Let's move on to secondary content. Anything entered into the secondary content field will appear in a little green box in the upper right-hand corner of the live site. This section of the content loading dock allows you to put any links to files, documents, or other websites that are pertinent to your page. This little green box is great for things that you want to draw attention to, for instance, applications or scholarship information. Do not place pictures in the secondary content field, just don't do it. Again, you don't have to put anything in the secondary content field. You can still build a perfectly respectable page without it. Time to move on to shared content. Shared content is a very useful tool. You may have noticed in the content tree that there is a whole section of folders and subfolders under the title Shared Content. The files loaded here are all content that is repeated multiple times throughout the site. By using the Shared Content section, you can access and share files on multiple pages without having to enter the same information over and over again. For a further description on how to create shared files and how to use them, see the Shared Content video. Whatever content you choose to use in this section will appear beneath the primary content on the live site. If you do not enter any primary content, the shared content will move up in the ranking on the page and be the primary visible content. Again, you don't have to enter anything in shared content, but if you do, make sure to use it properly. Let's move down to the next and final section of the content section in our content loading dock: extra content. This is very rarely used, but it is helpful when you have used shared content. Anything entered into this section will appear beneath the shared content on the live site. We generally encourage people to use this section to expand and personalize their shared content. For instance, if your shared content is a full page of links to kittens, you may want to enter in text that explains why it's there. We will walk you through a full page build in a future video, but for now, we just wanted to give you an idea of what you're working with. There are a few more sections to cover before we can get down to the real nuts and bolts. So, we'll see you in the next video. Navigation.